Welcome to today's MJ News Digest, September 10, 2020. Here are today's headlines. MJ featured in art exhibition. MJ as Doctor Who, Remembering Michael at Oxford, new Teddy Riley podcast, and The Wiz back at the cinema. So our first story is regarding a new art exhibition reported by the Daily Universe, good name for a website. Closing this week, a studio of her own exhibit features powerful lessons for 2020. Now, I've read this article. I can't find where this art exhibition is. I will link the article in the description. Maybe I missed it. But the exhibition closes September 12, so only another 2 days to go. So let's find some more information about this then. It features 58 remarkable female artists, and their messages of inspiration and hope are featured in the MOA's, I'm not sure what that is, a studio of her own exhibit. A studio of her own celebrates 110 works by female artists of diverse backgrounds and faiths, and some of their pieces celebrate racial diversity, like the vibrant quilt Subway Graffiti No. 3 by prominent black artist Faith Ringgold, who grew up in Harlem, and it features Diana Ross and Michael Jackson, amongst others. I wasn't too sure if I'd seen this piece of artwork, but then when I did some research, I'll show you in a minute, I realised that this was also featured in the Michael Jackson art exhibition at the National Portrait Gallery, which toured Europe. So here's some information about it. Faith made this quilt in tribute to Michael Jackson. It features him alongside other black heroes such as Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X and Nelson Mandela. She says she wanted to put him in that pantheon because those are people who were fantastic, and Michael Jackson was fantastic. And there it is. I remember seeing this. I went to the National Portrait Gallery and remember seeing this piece, and it really struck out. So if you are wherever this new exhibition is, go and see it. It's a good chance to see Michael Jackson art piece up close and personal. So our next story is 5 actors who were almost cast as Doctor Who and 5 who should be. What has this got to do with Michael Jackson? Well, I didn't know about this, so this is interesting. Doctor Who is a legendary series and each Doctor brings something new. Here are 5 actors who are lined up to be the next Doctor and 5 who should be. So if we scroll down to number 6, did you know about this? Number 6, almost Doctor Who, Michael Jackson. So it goes on to say the first Men in Black film hinted that Michael Jackson was an alien, and while this isn't the case, we assume, we can understand why he was once considered for the role of the Doctor. However, he wasn't up for a role in the television series. Back in the late 80s, Paramount Pictures had plans for a big budget Doctor Who movie, and according to The Guardian, Michael Jackson could have been offered the part. Sadly, fans never got to see Michael Jackson walk on the moon as the Doctor, although he was famous for another kind of moonwalk. A Doctor Who movie did get made, however, but for TV and not cinema, with Paul McGann in the lead. So if we head over to the source, which is The Guardian, so this was reported originally in 2013 by someone calling themselves Monkey. Doctor Who movie, Michael Jackson could have moonwalked into lead role. Paramount Pictures proposed a film version of the BBC series starring the King of Pop in the late 1980s. It has been revealed. In one of the weirdest casting decisions of all time, it has emerged that Hollywood studio Paramount Pictures once proposed making a Doctor Who movie with Michael Jackson as a Time Lord. But don't worry, the studio said that if the Jackson option didn't turn out, then it didn't turn out. It had a great number 2 in mind, Bill Cosby. The Times reports that the thinking was that the King of Pop did pretty good business with Moonwalker, and Cosby was riding high on his TV show. Interesting. So this is from, I don't know where it's from, but it's written by a guy called Andrew French, and he's included his phone number here, so let's hope this is a good article. It is. Why did Michael Jackson visit the Oxford Union to talk about the welfare of children? So this is obviously referencing Michael's historic speech at the Union. In March 2001, pop legend Michael Jackson flew into the UK to give a talk at the Oxford Union, but he nearly didn't make it. The singer, who grew up a Motown star, broke his foot just days before he was due to arrive. But the Thriller superstar promised fans the injury would not stop him making his speech on child welfare at the Union on Tuesday, March the 6th. About 500 people attended. More than 20,000 Michael fans applied to see his speech at the Oxford Union, and hundreds packed St Michael Street outside and nearby Corn Market during the afternoon before he arrived, filling the city centre with deafening chants of King of Pop. They waited around for hours before the legend arrived under an umbrella with his entourage, including Uri Geller and Rabbi Shmuley Botek. It was a memorable night for those who got to stand just a few feet away from Michael Jackson outside the Union, and for those inside who got to hear his speech, in which he insisted every child... what did he insist? Where's that gone? What's happening? Which he insisted every child had the right to a bedtime story, where obviously it was a lot more involved than that. At the time, the singer was chairman of the Hilda Kids Foundation, which aimed to take action on child welfare issues at both global and local levels. I would have liked if this reporter had included a bit more of what was said in the speech in this article, but so far so good. The 42-year-old, who was famed for his moonwalk dance, fractured a bone in his foot at a fall at his home, the Neverland Valley Ranch in California, but he insisted on making the trip to Oxford to meet his commitments. It's understood that following the talk he was driven to Blenheim Palace, where he enjoyed a lavish meal. When Michael Jackson died in 2009, students at the Oxford Union said they planned to stage a memorial in his honour. I didn't know that. Union President James Dray, 26, a politics postgraduate, said at the time members of the committee booking speakers were discussing how best to stage it. He said Michael Jackson's visit was quite an important day in the history of the Oxford Union, and we want to stage something to mark that occasion. That would have been really good. I don't think that actually happens. I can't remember hearing or reading anything about people talking about and remembering Michael at the Union. Where are we? What's going on with my laptop? Okay, so James Dray goes on to say, I wasn't around at the time, but I gather the whole of Oxford came to a standstill as people waited for Michael Jackson to arrive. Following the singer's death, staff at the Union in St Michael Street collected together photographs of the singer's visit. That's nice. When fellow pop legend Lionel Richie arrived at the Union in 2012 to talk about his musical career, he said, Michael Jackson told me I would be impressed, and I am impressed. There's also one sentence about leaving Neverland, but positive article. Nice. Thank you very much. Next story is from The Hollywood Reporter. Wonder is full podcast slate to cover Kamala Harris and music producer Teddy Riley. So this is a new podcast which will feature or explore Teddy Riley's career, and I thought that this could be interesting, something to look out for. So premiering on November 17th. It's a show about Teddy Riley. It will chart how Riley brought about the rise of New Jack Swing and became a producer for Michael Jackson and New Kids on the Block. Now, I'm not sure if Riley himself is going to be part of this podcast. If he is, hopefully he will say something interesting and truthful about his time working with the King of Pop. But we will look forward to this coming up to November the 17th. Our next website looks like it was designed in the 1990s. Not sure what happened there. That's not my Gmail account. That's weird. Tulsa County Parks to host pop-up movie at O'Brien Park. So if you're in Tulsa and around O'Brien Park, you can see The Wiz on Saturday, September 19th. That's next Saturday at 7 p.m. at O'Brien Park. So it says here, North Lawn Cinema in partnership with the Tulsa County Park and local food trucks are proud to provide the community a convenient, safe, family-friendly, fun event to help reduce stress on families. It's particularly heartfelt that the showing is The Wiz, which is a cult classic in the black community. So if you're in that area, you can go and catch The Wiz in the cinema. I saw it once at a matinee when I was a child. Yeah, absolutely love it. Love The Wiz. Okay, so our YouTube recommendation of the day. I could have gone with the Man in Black leak, which is all over YouTube at the moment, but if you want to find that for yourself, then do so. We kind of covered that in the live yesterday. Thank you for joining me. That was great. Got good fun yesterday. So this is a reaction video. This is from Rome Life Reactions. He's never heard Man in the Mirror before. How can you get to that stage in your life and never hear the song? Anyway, this is a really cool reaction, and I will link the full video in the description.
Wow. Make that change. I'm so glad I waited to this point in my life to start watching things like this, because now my mind is open. Now I can kind of see why older people in my life have been telling me, don't just get stuck in one area. go back and really appreciate your musical history, because now I can.
And that's it for today's MJ News Digest. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment and subscribe, because the best is yet to come.